them too ungrateful. God give we hand for clap for ram. He give we motto for sing for ram. He give we eye for see the wall. He give we foot for dance for ram. He no want nothing at all. He just want make we praise him. If you listen now, 5 o'clock morning, you go hear read them fall they praise God. Kokoriko, 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 them fall they praise God. Kokoriko, 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 them fall they praise God. If you listen now, 6 o'clock morning, you go hear read them fall they praise God. Tweet, 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 them fall they praise God. Tweet, 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 them fall they praise God. Go down, 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 down the river, you go hear read them dogs they praise God. Quack, 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 the dogs they praise God. Quack, 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 the dogs they praise God. Thank you, yo, Papa, thank you, yeah. 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 Thank you, yo, Papa, thank you. Thank you, yo, Daddy, thank you, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to yet another edition of the Epic Morning Show. Today indeed na Friday and this is the final edition for the week with the broadcast live from we Hillcourt Road Studios here on 99.3 FM. Don't forget to you can also watch we live on Slick TV on channel 37. You can also listen we on you can also watch we on Facebook at Epic Radio 99.3 FM, and you can also watch we live on Slick TV on Facebook at Slick TV channel 37. Me ready bring the program to you this morning. My name is James Fortune. And here in the show this morning we get for the review some of the biggest stories of the week. All the trending things that we don't happen, ranging from those things that made it to the papers and those things on social media too, specifically national issues. One of the significant things we take center stage now, almost all of the papers them during the course of the week. Now the launching of the committee for look into activities of the election, what went down, what went wrong, and those things that went right, and waiting at some of the reforms them we the committee at the end of the day get for propose to government for enact for make we electoral system better. Further down the line, there was the tribunal for the former Auditor General. We also, you get some witnesses them where the court be called during the course of the week for give testimony on the ongoing case we presently day before the tribunal. There is also the forensic audit system where the audit service, staff na the audit service, Sierra Leone auditors there have been trained on how to conduct forensic service. You know, that's taking the step forward, the step towards transparency and ensuring that people are accountable. All these and boku other things, them are things that we will get for can discuss inside the show this morning. So stay with us, don't go anywhere. Firstly, we take our morning message when I arise. Okay, welcome back. If you just joined me, you're listening to Epic Radio on 99.3 FM, and this is not the Epic Morning Show. Now, we morning message today. It's actually I want to read out a poem where I feel like so many people out there will be familiar with. It's the Shepherd Boy song. I mean, most of we studied it in school, and others learn them anyways. So it goes like this: He that is down needs fear no fall. He that is low, no pride. He that is humble ever shall have God to be his guide. I am content with what I have, little be it or much. And Lord, contentment still I crave, because thou servest such. Fullness to such a burden is, that go on pilgrimage. Here little and hereafter bliss is best from age to age. Now, waiting this poem there about, it tells you about contentment. It's a person with the dung, not afraid for freedom. And somebody with the low, not get pride. And that person with humble, go always get God for being guide. And that's, I am content, I okay, I glad with waiting I get, whether I boku or is small. Now, it's such a short poem, but then it carries lots of meaning. Whether you do work, you do business, whatever you're doing out there, it is important to understand that not all where you take yourself and put yourself on top of a high horse that matters. Because this is the thing. Where you take yourself and put yourself so high, definitely you get for the afraid for freedom. But somebody will not ace himself so high, then definitely such a person, God they lift them up. And then in an instance that you are humble, humility not necessarily means say you are laying down on the floor and allowing every other person to walk all over you. But then you treat each and every human with respect. You treat everybody around you in a way how you expect for be treated. Now that's humility, and in such an instance, God would always be your guide. And the thing of contentment, it's not about you having everything in the world, but it's you having not so much. You don't get everything figured out. You don't have everything laid out for you, but yet still, you glad with that one way day within you grasp at that moment there, and that is such an important mantra for let we move with, for lead life with, because we cannot have everything figured out at some point. We would not have all that we want, but then instead of worrying, instead of putting ourselves in a sad state about those things where we not get, let's just be happy with all those things that we have now.
Baby, where don't woke me at, where don't make me feel like say I'm not man enough, I no get nothing for offer. So all me party will look down on me, where don't make me feel like say my life no go become something, yeah. And they walked away. All the people who promise for help me, they say come office today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. The story not just the same, but I refuse to give up. I kept on hoping, I kept believing. Now everything don't change. Me wanna see me life now. It don't get better now. Famous standing them now. You know go fit say you don't know me now. Anytime I like a fly to Dubai now. Hey, with me baby now. Anything I like I buy now. Turn up, cause me I let it turn down. I let it run down. I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I'm moving on. So good.
Cowbell powder milk now they carry tasty creamy goodness for your breakfast and snacking moments. With any packet of cowbell milk powder you add to your food, you they give your body a creamy goodness blend of vitamin A, C, D, E, and K for general well-being and vitamin B9 for healthy brain development. Cowbell milk powder now with creamy goodness. Now quality milk powder we recommend for you and your loved ones during breakfast and snacking moments every day. They also get the 3-in-1 cowbell coffee, cowbell choco, and your favorite cowbell strawberry. Buy and enjoy the new creamy goodness of cowbell every day from all provision shops nationwide. For wholesale, visit the office at 51 Frobe Road, Freetown, or call us on 077-250025 or 099-250025. Cowbell powdered milk, the perfect companion at breakfast and snack times. Cowbell, a creamy goodness.
Okay, welcome back. So this morning on the show we get for the talk about the biggest stories of the week. And as I say in the intro, this week one of the biggest things will happen at the launch of the committee. We get for review things that will happen during the June 24th general elections. Now this committee make up of both people with the government of Salone recommend for the inside there, and you also get recommended people on the side of the All People's Congress with the part of this committee. And the hope of the committee now for look into things them way be go right and things them way be go wrong, and see who that's them for hold responsible, whether or not the legal frameworks them not did they not they work right, and propose such reforms them to government, where government in turn don't make commitments that then go follow through with all of them suggestions, then they will go come in by way of recommendations for change or amend or for improve on some of the electoral practices we already did it. Another thing again, we don't happen this week, now the fact that the Minister of Innovation don't urge MDAs them for take advantage of the National E-Government Plan. Now, what is this all about? And whether, well, you get some pundits them where they say it's just another waste of taxpayers' money, whether that is the case or whether this one also go bring kind of new flavor of transparency and add more to government's credibility and MDA's then spending and accountability. It's something we're going to look into inside the show this morning for know exactly how done they get for work and what would come out of it. The First Lady don't celebrate the first UN Day of Rape Survivors. It was held here in Sierra Leone, and yeah, waiting than they mean for Sierra Leone. I mean, we are now venturing into the international scenes, and a whole lot is happening there as well. So this morning, for discuss all of them topics, then the inside the show this morning, I'll be joined by Patrick Salia, we a journalist at Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, and then Ibrahim Sori Dumbuya, we a managing proprietor, another Minute newspaper. So stay with us. We have so much for you this morning. This is the Epic Morning Show.
Now only God know the reason why some man go. Now God himself know. Me brother, me I don't go regret. If you decide for go, it's happened for a reason. Now only God know.
Okay, welcome back. If you just joined we, you listen to the Epic Morning Show. They come to you on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. And this morning on the show, we're reviewing some of the biggest stories that will happen this week. We're taking a peek, dealing first with the launch of the committee for looking into electoral reforms. This morning, I'm being joined by Ibrahim Sori Dumbuya. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good.
Good morning to all listeners and viewers from the TV frequency.
Good. The committee we get for look into anomalies we happened during the June 24th election has been launched. Pundits them out there, some they say it's a big step, others they say it's just another waste of time. Where do you stand?
Yeah, thank you. Of course, such issues or development, whether it's been negative or positive, everybody gets their own opinion and approach as to which are their own understanding or belief of any concept or committee being established. But however, when we talk about democracy, we always for the consider elements them we not in the modify democracy or not in the make we see the existence of democracy. We all know the challenges them we the June 2023 elections been go through. Elections were being criticized by international community and even local and NGOs, civil rights based organizations, you know. But however, you see also opposition challenge the result based on transparency, credibility, and even the outcome to say them for be the favorite winner as per their own statistics. And moving from that, you see the trajectory also, the thing transcend into what we call political crisis. Of which side the opposition they refuse not for participating in governance, being the legislature or being any other executive attached institutions them. We as of law, maybe by way of appointment or by way of established policies that the opposition say for them.
Okay.
So based on that political stalemate, we really exist now they disagreement born out of. And in this agreement, the agreements have born which we call the committee, before be set up for this electioneering process. So now, if we look at the electioneering process as to the historical factor of Usai, this committee, we didn't say them for set for looking to the electioneering process. And sometimes people can misunderstand, but I want for let people get this thing right, make them politicians them not deceive them, be it from any other political party. But to me, as to waiting me see for this committee, it is to look at what actually go wrong for the June 2023 elections and bring out possible recommendations for save future elections them, you know, for fall in that same category of Usai, we go get a repetition of Usai, opposition might go say no, we are not going to parliament. But this committee is charged with the responsibility for look into the anomalies then they, for look into them wrongs then they will then be happening, come up with recommendations and solutions. Say, okay, I think this during the June election, I am bringing this problem.
Okay.
Now, if we get any other future elections, this we don't need them again. Let we not involve because this one will bring a problem.
Okay.
And if we get any future elections, now so we for do them. So we go avoid issues of credibility, transparency, and other things them way. Then go criticize and say this election's not free and fair. And then go also say, okay, now so ECSL be operate in the June 2023 elections. ECSL this thing we don't do, it be wrong. And because it be wrong, now I'm bringing kind challenges there, or now I'm bringing kind this figure or this. But however, we recommend that in any future elections, now so ECSL for operate, for avoid issues of then credibility or for avoid mathematical error as to the conclusion of the result. So I believe say this committee, to me, it is important and relevant for looking into the issues. But people should also be mindful that this committee is not charged with the responsibility to overturn the result. Because this committee is not the court of law. And people should understand that this committee is not charged to overturn the result because this committee is not ECSL.
Okay, we'll come there. Patrick, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
On the point of the committee, one would want to say that this is not the first time we're establishing a committee to look into electoral reforms and waiting. So do you think that this one is different, or it's just a normal kind of thing? It's kind of like a pattern. After every elections, we put up a committee and then do what they have to do, and we move on and we do something even worse the next elections.
Thank you very much. I think in the first place, systems are already broken. We have a broken system deliberately by those who govern us or those who take up governance. So once we do opposition, we tend to forget all the ideas. But once we take up governance, then it turned out to be something altogether different. So we already get established state institutions where we get to do with democracy, human rights, and other related vices. Take the National Commission for Democracy. You take the Human Rights Commission. Now you have the National Commission for Peace and Cohesion. And you get the moral, I put them in quotes, moral guarantors, the Interreligious Council. You have the Christians and the Muslims. Where are all these people? Or where have all these people been? Okay, they have been in Sierra Leone. Have they been doing what they are supposed to do or meant to do to a large extent? Have they been listened to? These are questions we all should be asking ourselves and answering those questions. So, to some extent, some of the institutions, state and non-state institutions, that are pertinent to the peace, national cohesion, and democracy, good governance of this country, may have been playing their part in some ways, but the people who hold governance positions don't listen to them. And to some extent, you would see reason why the governors don't listen to them, because some of them have been politicized already. If me no say you belong somewhere, another political party, you don't show face one way or the other, or you kind of get some reggae way they play in that other political party, then me no say I didn't have government. You talk to me about good governance, all waiting the economy mind, and for just conclude say, now you party interest that you have a seek about whether it is a good idea or not. But our system is broken in that direction. Everything and every institution almost is being politicized. There's hardly anything in Sierra Leone you do that any tag politics to RAM. So with all of these, even if no matter how much committee or how long we continue to establish committees, the challenges we have experienced in previous elections would not go away. Would not go away because the institutions are not as effective as they ought to be to hold duty bearers accountable. Now we go to the Liberia election. You see somebody who hold government, a artfully see incumbent agree to losing an election or not doing what they could to win that election at all costs. But the Liberia case, in fact, now a model now for democracy across the continent and perhaps the rest of the world. It's now a model. Somebody tell me, somebody I will talk to observe the election in Liberia, I say, on the election day, you hardly see armed officials, armed personnel, armed state security personnel on the streets or anywhere across the country in Liberia on the election day or even before the election day. The only people you go see now people with all batons, koboko. And that you rarely see, according to the reports I got from different people. I spoke to about 3 people who went to observe that election in Liberia. But in our own case, we over police, we over securitize, we do all sorts of things just so that we entrench, we continue for grip onto what we believe in, whether from the opposition point of view or from the governing point of view. So no matter how long we continue for set up committees to review our elections, I'm not sure, except otherwise they prove us wrong, but I'm not sure this is something that is going to be wiped away. Liberia don't learn the lesson because we all go through the war period equally around the same period, the same moment and same period. But they don't learn the lesson, just like Rwanda. Look at Rwanda today. Rwanda is a beacon of envy for development.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. So on that particular point, that brings me to the next question. Ibrahim, sorry, when you be the talk, you emphasize on the distinct role of that of the committee from that of the judiciary, establishing that the committee not necessarily they overturn anything. So there now comes in the question that if we claim that our elections have been so bad, and especially the June 24th elections, yeah, we claim that it gets so many things, then there are so many questions, people aim for answer and things like that. And one would want to say, why is it not that, would it not have been better that the opposition make use of the judicial channel and ensure that people are held accountable, rather than, because committee is more or less like it's just like family settlement.
Yeah, well, as you say, one thing I know is APC is an established institution. We then get a proper structure. So in other words, then they have their own wisdom and opinion as to how they're able to characterize the judiciary. So if they take decision of a good court, I think to them administrative ability, them feel say it is right for them not to go to court. But in a general perception, in any case, the court of law, now the established institutions for challenge such issues of electioneering problems. We've seen where results have been overturned by the court of law in Kenya. We've seen in Tanzania. You know, we've
even seen Kenya, here in Sierra Leone.
We've seen here in Kenya where a court can overturn or can nullify an elections and call for a reorg. Yes, in governance, you get three arms of government: the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. We all know, say, the judiciary is charged with the responsibility for implement the laws being passed by the legislature. So therefore, it's to be prudent for another institution to say, we are going to test the court, you know. But over the years, we all know the public opinion about the existing judiciary, issues of trust, public trust. It only derailed over the years. So maybe put all them things there together, the opposition say no. How can we go to court when for an existing period, our members have been intimidated, locked up, judiciary had been coming up with judgment which we think are not favorable to us, even as of law, even as of moral policies. So put all those things together, we don't think we trust the judiciary and can go there. That was backed up by the Secretary General, make a press statement of a catalog, several incidents them of where they feel say injustice be manifested against them by the judiciary, where they also go further and say the judiciary is a state-captured institution. So with all them things they are put together, that tells you when the Secretary General speak, it is speak the mind of a party. So with that mind, they then say, no, we are not going to court, you know. But for any other advice, you go advise your institution and say, no, let's go to court and challenge. If judgment not come in favor, okay, so be it. But other people can say, no, we prefer Obia, but we know they go court.
Okay.
Because we not trust the judiciary.
Okay.
But now, as we always say, issues of integrity, they at test now with this committee. Because we don't move away now from the judiciary angle now, we don't come now to a committee where more or less they are just charged with policies being regulated by a communique we didn't sign. What we for look at now, to me, now that whether the committee go actually state the factual findings about what go wrong during the elections, or whether this committee will bring out the requested result where international communities they ask for, like the Charter Center, the USA, like you call it EU.
You mean disaggregated data?
Yes.
But you already don't say this particular committee not get anything.
No, what I say,
yes.
whether they will come out, because in the regulations, imagine they are charged to look into waiting go wrong. And they are charged to look into specifically the June 2023 elections. So when you look at them, when you look at the 2023 elections, you for no say it is connected to also the cries around the disaggregated data, where the EU don't call for, where the Charter Center, the US don't call for. So all of these put in place. You go out for ask if you whether ECSL, if you whether they ask the committee, say, okay, well, you know, say I will get the responsibility. Well, do you want to give you this disaggregated data?
But the committee has no authority to request.
Well, I'm not talking about, no. It is not the authority to mandate ECSL to bring it. But it is within their purview to request. It is also within your purview to request as an ordinary citizen, say, but ECSL, I want this disaggregated data. They can say no, or they can say yes. Or they can say no, we can go to court.
On that particular point, yes.
The point is, usually in Salone, not even in Salone, across the world, you see, life, if you live with another person, always learn for set a very good precedent. Because that good precedent say, now they bind and govern on all. If you, as a leader, you don't start a particular bad precedent, then another person come after you. Then that bad precedent will be done set. He hurt another person. Then that person will be done hurt. He eventually come after you and take over that same office. And what do you expect? You don't expect that person to continue to bring in a good precedent, except otherwise. So but in the politics we practice, in the politics and governance we practice in Salone, the bad precedent has been the big problem. The big problem. Now you talk about the Secretary General, he's a lawyer, the Secretary General of the APC. The SLPP also get their own Secretary General, the Secretary General, when a lawyer also. Okay, if me don't do governance before, then somebody else on the cry about one or two problems where we feel bitter about, then you will be on the cry eventually can take over. Then you will be there, you come out. Then you come, you begin the cry. To some extent, it send a message to the public as if we don't use the system the wrong way against other people or against the other person. So the person himself, when he come, he want to take advantage of that same situation there. So the point about the judiciary, both people who are mentioned about being lawyers, they know as lawyers how they might have benefited or been disadvantaged by the very justice system. Okay. So it go back to all the precedents we don't talk about in the past and how best we go for swallow them bitter pride and then move forward so and continue with good precedents so that the future of
so still on the question of precedents, now the committee in itself moving away after an elections, normally it goes to the judiciary for review and blah 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 and things like that. People go to court when they're dissatisfied, but now seeing it's a new phenomenon that after elections you're having people now setting up committee. Do we think that is it set a good or bad precedent, considering the fact that now we're saying that okay, by virtue of going to a committee and all, you are taking out the responsibility aspect, because the most the committee can do.
With all due respect to my friends, now both the APC and the SLPP, they might have benefited from this very justice system where they don't castigate over the period of being the way where they don't put them. The APC refused to go to court because they say they get a barrage of cases where they don't file that same court over the period. But just because they are an opposition political party, the thing not go in their favor. The SLPP also cried the same when they were in opposition. So they tell you, they send a message to ordinary person where logically sabi think. Say when a political party is in governance, they use the system to benefit themselves. And those other people which themselves don't benefit from the system, then no say, that is what this other person is already doing. So why do we have to test this system? You understand? So that is the point about being the bad precedents that they talk about, and a whole lot of other examples we could cite.
Okay.
But the committee is not going to solve our governance problem.
Good. Ibrahim, so specifically on the question of now we're kind of like saying, when after an elections, we're introducing that there are two options. It's either now we form a cross-party committee, or we go to court. Yeah. My question is, do you think that this particular precedent that is being set now, is it a good or a bad one?
Okay. I'm going to answer the question, but I want to emanate from my brother, Mr. Salia. They made mentions about the two institutions don't benefit from the judiciary. Yes, of course, that's not absolutely true. But again, you know, when they say accountability is tied down to the very promise where you give the people. Remember this President Bio, when he did the campaign for Kana Power in 2018, if you go to a manifesto, he talked about an independent and impartial judiciary. He talked about all bad where in don't capture, don't they see the happen during the APC, and go make sure say yes.
He didn't say the depoliticized governance.
Fine. He say he go make sure say I agree with you, go depoliticize governance, he go try for clean anything and they make sure say Salon come on the right track. So based on them promise then they now the way they walk upon say no, we know say yes, X, Y, Z bad, wrong, we don't happen. But you promise us that we are going to have an independent judiciary, that we institutions are going to be depoliticized, that we are going to have a neutral system, even within the executive, where we go able to execute policies rightly. But if we are seeing the contrary.
Well, that may depend on how person look at her.
No, if we are seeing the contrary, we know a lot of things that would have happened. You know, and I will give examples, but again, why should it transcend go to the question? Now, yes, you talk about the committee, whether it will help.
No, not whether it would help. The precedent that it is setting, is it good or
whether,
bad?
Okay, whether not good or bad precedent. Well, to me, yes, of course, a democratic means. Because why are the chair for tell you so? It was based on this communique, the political crisis being get for cease. Because remember, we get this political crisis of non-participation of opposition. We all know it now what they mean.
Okay.
Because if you get a legislature of USAI, only one party there, automatically some people, other people, school of thought say it is not a one-party system. But me to join the other school of thought say when you get a democratic system of USAI parties then go into elections, then probably you just get you only get one party in parliament. If he then win on a democratic note, that now they don't win and go in parliament, they will not call it a one-party system because they are there democratically. But if the opposition or other parties they win, but then choose not to participate, then that one day go you call them say now one.
You cannot
system.
still call it so because now two political parties and those
No,
ones
you don't,
win
no, it is
because the other choose not for go, not necessarily they.
No,
Exactly.
What deem it? It is the issue and perception of non-participation. If you make me border now we contest, and get 5 people when they win, then go to parliament. Then me get 3 people they win, then go to parliament. Then me on 3 people say no the issue, and this way will not go. Then me what I ain't go, automatically when go, you understand? In a literal and a democratic perception, it is a one-party system. Now,
It doesn't
I go the other way around.
still
No, I
turn
give you
that
a
way.
simple example. I go the other way around.
But this
Now,
one no mean that way.
I go the other way around. If you me and me brother contest in 5 people and 5, but in win all, they go occupy the parliament. That you will not call it a one-party system. I mean, a one-party system of governance.
Ibrahim, so you are not think like say
That
the
is the
examples
Ibrahim
that
definition
they-
of one party.
No, I can't. That is why I say I join the other school of thought. You know, this thing now is debatable something way subject
Of course.
to different opinions and interpretation. Me join the other school of thought. That is what I'm saying. Now, as we say, going back to the precedent, yes, now democratic means,
Okay.
my brother. Because why you will call and say now democratic means, waiting actually solve the political crisis.
Okay.
Now the communique, and this communique, now he actually born this committee. And in this committee, then give them say, "Una charge with this responsibility for bring everything." Now, make what you say whether they get the power for the result. To some extent, I make I tell you say it is not the legitimate power as of the judiciary or the ECSL for bring out the result. But then tell them say anything will happen during this electioneering process. Una look into everything, una come out with a recommendation. If they request ECSL not give them, then they recommend say we requested for the result, but the result was not given to us. But according to our findings, we find out say results no day. Okay, then we don't know now. Say okay, indeed, results.
That is already a claim that is on the table.
Now, the issue of bad precedents have been mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Remember, if you go back to 2012, the 2012 election, now we are claiming the disaggregated data has not been made public, had not been published. This is by no means supporting anybody. Let nobody not get me wrong. In 2012, go to the ECSL or NEC website. Or the elections before, you not go see that results in at the website. Usually, every election conducted by the commission responsible for elections in the country, upon the conclusion of every election, the results and other basic relevant information for them at the website. It will be a resource material for everybody for be able to access easily. But you go to the 2012, you go to the ECSL website, you don't find, except something upload them anytime recently, you don't find it there.
Okay.
So the current, so if you mind you, the institution and most of them or almost all of them, then get their own legal affairs people. We could advise them about the same precedents that they talk about.
Okay.
If you can start this now, remember, there and not been one today. And all of these people have their own political godfathers, where sometimes they go to fidget them behind the scenes, say,
okay,
let me take the cue with them people and they.
Okay.
But in terms of whether it is a good or bad precedent, it's for me it's both. A good precedent because, you know, person no go just day in our office. You just feel say any decision I take, it's absolute and paramount. So you need somebody way for basically like a review. The work where certain people don't do, so you don't feel you are indispensable. So that's for me a good, provided the terms of reference given to this committee covers reviewing the work of the ECSL and other elections management bodies.
Okay.
And the bad precedent for me is that, do we have to continue this in this trend after every election? Do we have to continue this?
Okay, this is not the Epic
It's not
Morning
good for our
Show.
democracy.
If
It's
you
not good
just
for
join me,
governance.
we go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the discussion. Stay with us.
Do you want to be your own boss? Or do you want to add more services to your business? Then look no further, because BNB is here for you.
What do you mean?
With BNB, you can now make money with just your smartphone. With the new revolutionary app, BNB POS, you can do remittance, bill payments, EDSA airtime top-up, and many more. All this from your smartphone, anywhere you want.
This sounds great.
That is not just all. The app also features real-time agent rebalancing and reconciliation.
Oh wow. But how can I get a BNB POS and start making my own money?
It's so simple. You can download the application on App Store or Google Play Store. Just search for BNB POS and download. Then call our customer service on 072 500 000, and within a short period of time, our agent will help you for the onboarding process.
Wow, no time to waste. Let me do this right away.
Oh yes, start making money today from anywhere in Sierra Leone. For more inquiries, contact our customer service on 072 500 000. With BNB POS, you shop na your pockets.
Una not ready for the biggest enjoyment this Christmas? Join the biggest household name, the #1 radio station as salon, Epic Radio. They come with the biggest, the hottest, the finest, and the sweetest carnival title, all team mix carnival. So come and mingle with sober-minded people from different angles. Saturday, December 16th, the big carnival will take place. Now more don't playing field. Jump 6 o'clock evening time, everything gonna begin. Come and chill with the favorite presenter. Come take a nice picture with all the biggest celebrity there. Come and party finest DJ wonder.